Happy Self Love Sunday. I am Moe Sass, the host of Self Love Sundays with Sass. I am a certified life coach who likes to consider themselves an aide in the village that walks along with her clients through their journeys so that they can have the life they so desperately desire. For those of you who are new to my video podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that you come in and enjoy the content. And for those of you who return every Sunday, I so appreciate you and thank you for the outpouring of love and support. And listen, I cannot believe it is August, y'all. August is my month for several reasons. I'm a summer baby and I'm a Leo, 8-8 all day. So yes, happy birthday to all my Leos. We're going to turn up in August, okay? We're going to turn up. I think I've been turning up a lot actually these last couple of months, but in August we're going to take it to a whole nother level. And that's why I didn't do my videos live last week because, well, it's been, like every other week I haven't been able to do them because I've been just going and going and going and really doing the things that make me happy, which, I really hope that people are doing. Do what brings you joy, do what brings you happiness. And today I want to talk about overcoming fears. Because when I go on vacation, and I spoke about this in previous videos, and if you haven't had an opportunity, please check out my YouTube, Moe Sass, and go back and look at some of my videos because there is nuggets and knowledge all over them. And I talked about every time I go on vacation, I do something that scares the life out of me, right? And I want to just say, let me just add this disclaimer in the beginning so when I tell this story, everybody won't think they have to go do something crazy, right? So I just want to say these are the things that I do. And I also help my clients. I walk along with them through this journey to get them to these points of overcoming certain fears. But by no means am I telling anyone that is listening to the sound of my voice to go jump off any cliffs or do anything dangerous without having proper supervision and people there to walk you through these things, okay? So I just want to state that up front. So this vacation, I went with my man and his daughters and his daughter, two friends, and we went to Puerto Rico. And I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna face some fears this vacation, and we decided to do this rainforest guided trip in which the part of it was to jump off a 15-foot cliff into water. Now, let me tell you why that is abundantly scary for me. A, I'm afraid of heights. B, I cannot swim at all. And I know what you're thinking. Why don't you get swim lessons? Listen, people, my children all know how to swim. I did the right thing as a mom. I'll get to me in a minute. No, seriously. Like I've been off and on trying to learn how to swim. So no, but I really just don't know how. So we get to, because I really want to get to the story of the cliff, right? So we get to the cliff, right? It's me, his daughters, and we're standing up there at the top of this cliff. And I'm telling you guys, I was so scared, so scared. It was a crippling kind of fear where my legs felt like lead. My heart was pumping out of my chest. I did the thing you're not supposed to do. Let me just say this. I looked down. That wasn't good. So I think the tour guide knew. He knew that, people were going to be overly scared and stuff. So he goes and he jumps off the cliff. No life vest, no nothing. Just jumps in this water. And I'm looking like, okay, he crazy. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, my God. So I'm battling with myself on this cliff. Like, part of me knew that I had to do this, right? I had to face this fear because what I'm going to tell you is when each time you face a fear, you go to the next level in your life. I'm going to say that again. Each time you face a fear head on, take it on head on, you graduate to the next level in your life. You show the universe that although that fear came up, you still trust and you have faith and you're going to take the leap into the next phase, right? So That's what this was all about for me. Every time I do these things of facing my fears and head on, and again, like I started this story about vacationing and doing things that are fearful. It doesn't always have to be that way, right? So a lot of times when I'm talking to clients, it could be fear of having a hard conversation with someone, having a hard conversation with their parents, with their children, with their spouse or significant other, right? So fear, when I'm talking about fear, it's all things, because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, right? So facing fears in general, once you face them, you go to the next level in life. Because once you've overcome it, you know that you can get through that thing, right? And most times when you face that fear, it heals a part of you that you don't even realize needed to be healed, okay? So let's get back to the cliff, y'all, because I'm standing on this cliff. And I'm like, okay, so his daughter jumps in before me. And I'm like, okay, that's good for her, right? Just being totally honest, because I want you to understand the fear came up. It's present. It's here. Yes, I'm a life coach. I am still a human being who has to face fears. So I'm standing and I'm like, oh my God. So, my guy, he's standing behind me and he's talking like, what are you going to do? Blah, 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 right? And meanwhile, I'm like, shut up. But I knew I had to face this fear. So, and I just kind of said, forget it. And I run and I jump in this water. Let me tell you, I jumped off this cliff. It felt like I was falling forever. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, oh my God. And then I hit the water. And I had a life vest on, right? And I'll get to why the life vest didn't really mean anything to me in terms of why I was still fearful on the next thing I did, right? So everybody's screaming and clapping for me like, yay. And I'm like, oh my God, I did it. I did it. I'm telling you, that fear was, I felt like it had crippled me. But, once I did it, I was like, oh my God, I did that. I did that, right? But here's the interesting part. I'm not going to tell you the interesting part yet. I'm going to tell you the second thing that I did. Now, usually it's only one fear per trip, okay? Like, just let me keep this real. But this time it happened to be two. So the second thing that I did, so we left the cliff and everything, and we went to the beach. So they wanted to ride jet skis. Now, let me tell you why I was hell bent on I am not getting on a jet ski. So previous years, and I want to say this had to be about, I want to say at least 17, 18 years ago, me and my girlfriends and my sister, we went on a trip to Mexico, and we wanted to ride the jet skis, want to be cute, ride the jet skis. So me and my girlfriend get on a jet ski together. My sister decided not to go. She's staying on land. She's the safe one. Like, I'm not messing with these fools. They gonna go out there. I'm not doing that. So my other two girlfriends, they were out there riding the jet skis. They're all over the ocean. Me and my girlfriend go out. And at the time, it was high tide. We didn't realize it. So a wave came, I swear to you. I know you're going to think I'm exaggerating. I am so not. It was like a tsunami. This wave was so huge, it came up, and I just saw it coming down. And it was one of those things where I saw it coming and I knew I was in trouble. And it slapped us real hard. Well, when it slapped us, it knocked me off the back of the jet ski. My life vest popped open. Now, that's why having that life vest on that cliff really didn't mean anything to me, because I know the power of water, right? And how strong it can be. So it popped my life vest open. At that point, I hit the water and I'm like drowning, okay? I cannot swim. So I remember in the moment praying really, really hard, tapping into my higher power. Like, listen, my prayer, I'm not going to tell you because it was completely crazy, but it doesn't matter. I remember it, but also remember the sinking feeling of I'm leaving. Like, I'm literally dying at this point. And I felt myself go calm and just go down. And as soon as it was a weird thing, I kind of went submerged in the water. I felt somebody pull me from the back. And it was the guy, because my sister was on land. She saw it and she's screaming, somebody save my sister. My girlfriend's in the water screaming, somebody save my friend. Now she could swim. She could swim. I'm like, you saved me, right? Look, somebody save my friend. Meanwhile, I'm just dying. So he picked me, I felt this guy pick me out the water, and He helped me get, I was shaking fiercely, just shaking. He helped me get on the back of the jet ski and took me back to land. It took them 10 minutes to get me off of him. That's how tight I was holding this little man who had pulled me out the water. So now I'm gonna take it back to now where we're in Puerto Rico. Let's talk about getting on jet skis. I'm not doing it. I am not doing this. So it's really funny what happens when you are aligned with spirit. And I'm a very spiritual being, which means I have a personal relationship with my God. My God happens to be Jesus Christ. I do not care, and I'm going to state this twice. I don't care who your higher power is. You could call it universe. It could be a tree. It could be Buddha. It could be Allah. I do not care. What I do care about is that each and every person under the sound of my voice understands that it is very important to have a higher power to tap into. I'm going to say it again. I do not care what you call the higher power, but it's important for you to know that to have a higher power to tap into. Okay? So, getting back to Puerto Rico, I can hear spirit literally saying to me, you have to get on the back of this jet ski, right? So at the time, my boyfriend, I really like to call him my man because I'm like, I'm a little too old for the boyfriend term, okay? So just ride with me, people. Just ride with me, okay? So I knew I had to get on the back of this jet ski for several reasons. Some of them I'm not going to completely go into in this video. I'm going to save it for later for some things that I'm working on. But I will tell you high level, I knew I had to get on the jet ski to face this fear because this fear was different than the fear on the cliff. The fear on the cliff, yes, had me scared. It had my legs feeling like lead, but it was like for my clients, for the people who I know I teach to walk into fear, I knew I had to do that, right? But this fear was different. This was a fear that I'm going to tell you guys, like my heart was I felt like literally I was going to have a heart attack on the beach. Like it was out my chest. It was like, I felt like I was almost like an out of body experience of knowing that it was crippling. It was debilitating. Like I just can't, I was sweating. Like it was bad, but I knew I had to face this fear. I knew. I talked about this in the previous video, guys, where I talked about because I know that kind of fear is low vibrational. It's like a negative force, negative entity. Some people call it the devil, some people call it a negative spirit, some people call it low vibes, call it what you may. But I knew that if I stayed in that fear, then I was giving into that lower vibration. I was feeding into that negative spirit, and it was going to keep me playing small. I knew I had to activate my faith, which means believing in my higher power, which means believing in me, believing in who I was riding on that jet ski with, believing that spirit had me. I knew I had to do this. And I can hear spirit talking to me like, you need to face this. So let me tell you, I get on the back of this jet ski and I'm just going to be real, y'all. I was praying like I had never prayed in my life. I was so scared. I'm really like tough and I'm hard, right? I'm from New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl, so I'm like, I'm hard, I'm tough, right? I got this all day. That's usually my attitude all day long, On that jet ski, I had to embody the very thing that, I've been working on for a long time and also teach my clients is vulnerability. I was scared. And I remember him saying to me, like, you okay? And I'm like, I'm scared. I sound like a little 5-year-old. I'm scared. And he's like, I got you. So we're riding on the jet ski, y'all, and I'm praying and I'm doing this. But I'm telling you this for a reason. I still was scared out of my mind. But I was praying and I could hear spirit talking to me. And in the middle of the water, we had to be like 15 minutes in at this point. I heard spirit say, you're not in control. You have to release control. Because one of the things that is something in my life that I work on is control. Understanding that we have none, right? So for as much as I teach you, there's still things that I have to work on, and I get to work on in my life. I always say that I'm a vocabulary trainer. No one has to do anything. So you'll hear me say get to, right? And the reason why I say that is because no one has to do anything and no one needs to do anything. You can choose to do it. You can understand you get to do it, but also that you're blessed to, right? So that's why I say, I get to understand that I have to let go of control, and activate faith over fear. So we were riding, and at one point, I guess I didn't realize I was holding on to him so tight, probably cracking his ribs because I'm a little strong too. And he looked back and said, "You have to loosen up a little bit. You have to loosen up your grip, or we're gonna fall off this jet ski." And I was like, "Okay, right." But I'm scared. He was like, "But I got you." So I loosened up my grip, and we were riding, and we rode 30 minutes. We were out there, 30 minutes. And I still was a little afraid. My stomach still was like boiling at that point. I still was sweating, but I did it. And I'm going to tell you, when we got back to land and I got off that jet ski, I immediately knew I had graduated. I immediately knew. Because I was faithful, because I activated faith. When I say faithful, I listen to spirit. I listen to them when knowing to overcome this fear, knowing that even if I'm scared, I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to take that leap. See, that's what I mean by going to the next level. It was my way of telling the universe and my God that yet, although I'm scared, although I have this fear, I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to take this leap. I'm going to trust you. And here's the other thing, guys. Here's the other thing. I never even stopped to think about it. Never stopped to think about it until I decided I was going to share this with you today. That when we were up on that cliff before we jumped, the tour guide had went and jumped ahead of us. So he was in the water. There was another guy who came who jumped in the water after, my man's daughter jumped in. Who's my daughter? I love her. She jumped in the water. He had jumped in the water and he was like, "Listen, I'm here. I got you." So what that said was, God had already set things up. He had already had people in place that if ever I was in trouble, if ever I got in trouble, they were going to be there. I had the life vest on, right? There was people behind me that could swim. There was people in the water waiting for me. And so often we are crippled, we are afraid, but we're already set up. We're divinely protected. We're protected. Think about that. So often you're afraid to take that leap into that next relationship. Take that leap into entrepreneurship. Take that leap in having those hard conversations. But if you stop to think about it, there is help along the way. There is someone there. You can hire a business coach. You can hire a life coach. Info@moesass.com. Info@moesass.com to help you walk alone, to open yourself up so you can face these fears, right? If you're going to do what we did, there was tour guides there. I was safe. I was protected all around. There's people there. Think about it. And even when I got on the jet ski, now here I am, scared out of my mind. I had somebody who loves me that was right there. There was the people who we rented the jet skis from, they were flying up and down in the middle of the ocean. So if I fell off the jet ski again, there would have been someone there immediately to get me. But I hadn't even, I was so crippled by the fear, I couldn't see all that was around me. And so often we're crippled by the fear and we don't even see that we're divinely protected. Our spirit guides, our ancestors, our angels, our God is right there for us. And oftentimes they send the right people at the right time to help you in the right moment. They'll send the right people. Your God will send the right people at the right time in the right moment. I want you to think about that. And if the right person at the right time in the right moment in the face to fear for you and your healing is a life coach, reach out. If it's a therapist, reach out. Face that fear. Face that fear. If you want to learn how to speak your truth and not your trauma, which I teach people how to effectively communicate your truth, right? And having those hard conversations, reach out. See, there's people all around you to help you, go to the next level of your life, to help you release those low vibration, and to help you release those low vibrational people and environments and things that are helping you stay and play small. How about that? If you are surrounded by negativity, if you are surrounded by low vibrational beings and peoples and environments, it's time to face that fear and step out. Get uncomfortable. Lean into the fear. If your stomach is hurting and you're sweating, that's the time to do it. That's the time to do it. Face the fear. You will grow in that uncomfortable moment. In that moment of uncomfort, I grew. In that moment of uncomfort, I grew. My faith went to a whole other level. I leaned into the fear, and it was debilitating. I'm telling y'all, I was on the verge of tears. But I will never allow that negative entity to hold me back and to hold me down and to keep me from my promise, to keep me from my purpose, to keep me from showing each and every one of you that I'm going to continue to step up and step in and lean in. And if I have to be the first one to show you that you will be okay, that everything always works out for you, then that's who I will be. But here's the thing, I want to bring you right along with me. If I can do it, Moe Sass, I'm just a simple girl from Plainfield, New Jersey, who took the chance to say that anything is possible. Anything is possible for me. If I can watch all these other people have it, be or do or have the life they desire, I can have it too. That's all I did. I made a choice. I chose to lean in. I chose to say there is nothing that can hold. There's no government. There is no negative entity. There is no person. There's no place. There is no thing. I don't care what happens in my life. And many things have happened in my life. They took both of my sons. I buried 2 sons. There is no greater pain than that. And I took that pain and I turned it into purpose. If I have to be the one to show you that anything is possible, if you believe anything is possible, if you stay faithful, anything is possible. Because the reason why I'm tearing up is because facing that fear was hard, y'all. I don't want you to think it's not going to be hard. It's not going to always be easy. But when you lean on your higher power, when you trust your inside, trust your gut, trust your soul, and know that everything is going to always work out. You never, ever lose. You will always learn. And you take those lessons. And you move forward. So 5 things to take as you begin your leap when you are scared is to remember that fear activates that lower power. The longer you stay in that fear, the longer they hold you back, the longer you won't get to that life you desperately desire. When you have faith, you activate your God. You activate universe. You activate the higher power. You have faith and know that everything always works out for me. Right? Second, practicing the power of pause when you feel that fear. Take deep breaths. Stay in the now. Don't go too far out. Don't be like, oh my God. Having this conversation with this person, this may happen and that may happen. You tell yourself all these stories. Stop with the stories. Take a deep breath. Get into now. Okay? Stay present. Third, affirm yourself. Tell yourself, I'm safe. I had to tell myself many times, I'm safe. I'm protected. Right? I could do anything. And everything always works out for me. Affirm yourself. Continue to tell yourself over and over, you are safe and you are protected. You're divinely guided when you feel that, right? Fourth, remember your why. And I look down when I say that because magic can't happen in your life if you don't believe. Remember your why. My why is living the life of my dreams, living my purpose, living this life fully so that when it's my time to go, I'm dying empty because I've given it all away. I've given it all away. That's my why. What's yours? Right? And lastly, just do it. Just do it. When you jump, you'll get your wings, baby. When you jump, you'll get your wings. And if you want to learn, how to do it, if you want to walk through getting open, if you want to walk through healing so that you can do this, info at moesass.com, and that's MOESASS, all as in Sam.com. You can follow me on Life Coaching with Sass on Instagram and Facebook for daily inspiration and positivity. Listen, even if it's a question, reach out to me. Just know that I got you. I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. Listen, next week is my birthday weekend, so I won't be here. Actually, Sunday is my birthday. I'm going to go enjoy it, and I want you to enjoy this day in the next week, and I'll be back, the following Sunday. And here's the thing: I want you to enjoy it, not because you choose to, not just because you get to, but because you are blessed to. I love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.